Evening all, welcome to another ICC Banter Blitz. So it's 9 PM approaching UK time. Let's mute over there. So hi on stream. First challenge, Xianalu. It's been a mighty hot day today actually. I've been having lots of watermelon today to try and cool down. Oh dear, I don't know if you can notice that. I've been okay. Bit too hot today. Okay, let's see anyway. So we've got a French defence with the bishop outside the pawn chain. That's the idea anyway, to kind of create an upgrade to the French defence in some respects. I think last week, he's much stronger in his rating last week. I think he off the draw in a winning position. I don't know if I'm going to be so lucky this week. Can I try and do better? Let's see. That fearsome opponent. I'm not taking account of rating too much. I think many of these players are. Whoa! What's this? Am I going to be harassed later with Bishop E5? Ooh, I didn't expect that one, to be honest. Maybe there's Bishop E5 on the cards, and maybe I can't afford to lose a pawn for nothing. I might have to play Queen D7. Okay, he's not played that. Okay, I was hoping this would be a reasonable position. I was planning committing to D5. I get rid of this bishop. Right. If I take that, is my structure getting a bit exposed? That's my concern here. Is structurally, maybe I can take with the knight. I think I'm threatening to take an B5 maybe. Oh, there's queen takes though. So if I go back here, alright. Alright. Now E4, there might be knight F4. Okay, I'm hoping this is still vaguely okay. So is B5 a concern? I'll do this. Or here. Is B5, I don't know about B7 being that vulnerable. Okay. If I protect this, there might be knight A5 or something later. Can I do this? Is that too weakening? Okay. This maybe just supporting D5. Actually, there might be a sack to undermine D5 if I'm not careful. Could I play E5 here? Oh, that's a bit dangerous, isn't it? Oh, I didn't expect that. That's a shame. Okay, it's taken me by surprise. Maybe it's not entirely fatal, but I don't like surprises too much. Maybe I shouldn't have been that surprised. I did weaken D5. Let's hope there isn't too much pressure here. Rook D8. Maybe doubling rooks on the D file. I'm sort of glad A6 is here, otherwise that B5 would be winning. This E5 is vulnerable. Maybe E4 is worth playing. Okay, if I take it then Okay, this center file or e4, maybe e4. Not entirely sure. No, e4 is knight d4. Just wondering if there's an exchange sack. Maybe he plays the exchange sack. That's possible. Oh, b5 is going to be annoying. What I have done though is maybe I have made potentially e4 more desirable. If I double the rooks now, e4 now. Alright, let's see e4 now. f5 is hanging. I've just dropped f5, haven't I? And there's knight g6. I think I'm getting torn to shreds. So knight g6 was threatening to win the rook. If I play the check and then rook d2.
Check.
Is there any... I hope there's some counterplay. There's rook e4, there's rook f2, there's check. If I take rook a1, what about this? Try to activate the king a bit. Bit tricky. E4 is now weak. Okay. I better do something quick. Try and win pawn back. A pawn back. There's rook d7. Rook c. No, there isn't a rook c7. Okay. Don't think knight f6 is mating just yet. Oh, this is a nice pin, isn't it? Self pin. That could be fortunate for me. The first bit of good news. This self pin, it's quite fatal in blitz, just I've noticed. If you accidentally create a kind of self pin, which looks like good news now. The outside pass pawn. That pawn could be queening otherwise. Okay, I was lucky there, thanks. Fearless one. Let's try this reverse French. I was a bit lucky there. That is a good opponent though. I'm passed in cards, I gotta say. Let's see, e4 and knight f1 to g3. Okay, so trying to build up a good position here. If I castle queenside and e5 or... maybe castling kingside. If he castles queenside, I think this bishop takes a6. Now if he castles kingside, yeah, provoking stuff. If I drop back for a moment, just drop back to see what black's doing here. Knight g5 might provoke f6. Okay, we have some resolution on the situation. It's starting to look a little bit... oh, as though e6 should be something to do to get into e6, I hope. Hitting the bishop there. I'm going to drop this pawn now. Okay, maybe there's G3. Do I want to open up the F file? Would that actually give anything here? Can't castle, so his king's kind of stranded in the centre. Right now, the king's there's also knight G7 to think about. So I'm hoping this F file is interesting. If I double, oh, that looks a little bit on the desperate side to do that. There is knight F4 here, or there's bishop G6. Maybe knight F4. I can still take her. Let's see, there's queen E4 maybe, as well as a forcing move. If castling queen A6, castling queenside, well, that looks dangerous because of this. And there's also rook H2 here. I think this is good news, basically. On this side I'm taking here, so bishop takes, queen takes, let's have the check, or knight takes. Maybe knight takes. I just want to double, I think. I wonder about, yeah, rook to G7 plan. Rook G7, there's rook takes F6. Okay, so in the meantime, have I got something like, if he doesn't blunder a piece, G4, maybe knight G3, knight F5, knight H6. So that kind of maneuver, G4, knight G3, knight F5. This knight's not amazing on H1, not mathematically or otherwise. It's kind of defending, I suppose, G3, but I don't need that necessarily. So I think this is my worst piece. So G4, knight G3, knight F5. Tip for saving on watermelon: don't get the slices from supermarket. You don't need to. You can just cut up your own watermelon. Save a lot of money. I don't know. I had some addiction to packaging, but you don't need to. You can get gigantic, quite cheap watermelons without the seeds. Cut them up and save a lot of money. Just use the fridge and cling film. Amazing. So I've been trying to sort of hydrate with watermelons today. More than any other day, actually. Yeah, it's been pretty hot today. Okay, so I'm hoping knight F5 and something like rook H2, I imagine. Knight F5 and rook H2. Now I can still play knight F5 because there's queen G6 and knight E7. The knight's rescuing the situation tactically with its arrival on F5. So rook takes. Also there's knight takes, but basically queen takes as well. Knight takes. It's fine as far as I can see. So this is good news. Check out Quora as well. I've been answering quite a few questions on Quora under Tryfon Gavriel, my real name, so not King's Crusher. But let's see. So knight takes here, and this. Now this is not mating yet, is it? Knight F6. I'm not mating yet, am I? Or am I? Wouldn't have thought this is necessarily mating here. Unfortunately, I can't see it anyway if it is. But rook f6, queen takes check, and rook f2 wins the queen. If it takes that, queen h7, it might be worth a punt actually, just to weaken the king, because actually at minimum, well, I can win the queen here at
check.
minimum, surely. Pinning the queen. Another pin and win principle in blitz. It's a big one. Pins in blitz can win a lot of points, it seems. This pin now should be a zugzwangy situation. This pin here, I think black's gonna run out of moves. Can I drive my king to f5? This is probably an overkill to try and create a zugzwang. Alright. There is knight takes e5.
Check.
Alright, thanks for the game. On Hassan, let's try e3. I think this is a dangerous opponent. That's done me over in the past. Does he let me have knight e5? Nope. I think we've had a very bad French defense experience with this guy. And maybe that's not going to repeat here too easily. I'll try and get a tempo from that bishop. I think there was something bad about when I played a French defense before. Little trap, bishop f5, if he took the pawn. Took the knight, I mean. Okay.
Check.
Fell right into that, didn't he? Pin, you see. It's theme of the night, pin and win. The pins are serving me well here, tactically. Okay, let's see. There's still some work to do, clearly. b5 for queen a7. Knight e4 taking c3. But that's... I'm hoping I'll play this to win a7. Alternatively, bishop d2 for castling queenside might be interesting, just to get some piece development. Or f3 even. f3, bishop f4, king f2, rook e8, rook e1. I'm fancying this actually with rook e1. I'm fancying that just to try and relieve the pressure and deny the knight. g4. There are some issues here. Where is this knight going? Is it going to c4? Okay. Maybe I should take that. I think I have a certain pressure here. Unless my queen's getting trapped. Yeah, I might just trap my queen. Okay, bishop d2 might support. Knight d5. Okay, let's get the queen out before I get it trapped. This is looking a bit strange, my queen position. Trying to undermine the central control with g4, g5. That's not really plausible, is it? Okay, I can throw a check in.
Check.
Okay, I haven't really achieved that much, but maybe. What do I need to do here? See if this situation can be made less scary. If the bishop's committed to h6, okay, it's not. Okay, maybe playing for c4. Okay, maybe not. Looking at e8. What about just, if I play knight c2, there's rook e2. Okay. Put pressure on d5 for a moment. Oh, it's a tricky one. Okay, here. Is it possible that knight f5 is something I need to do? Or knight g2, maybe knight g2. Just to simplify, I'll get control of the e file. Maybe knight d3 to c5. If I want to improve this knight, I can put it to c5. And block rook e2. Actually, I can play bishop f4, bishop g5. Then maybe bishop takes and knight f4 to be on d5. Right, I'll be on d5 here. Two rooks for the queen. Might not be. No, it's not two rooks for the queen. Okay, let's block there to be just on d5 without rook e2. No, I'm not on d5. Let's stop knight c4 for a moment. Or not. Alright. What can I do here? Something with the queen, surely. Queen can go where? To win h7? What can I do? Fascinating. Truly.
Check.
Okay.
Check.
Or maybe bishop f4 is threatened. Well, this is another pin situation. Back to my friend the pin. Okay, my friend the pin is here. Maybe I need a pawn on e5 just to be a bit more aggressive. Then try and get the king in on the dark squares to try and squeeze my opponent. King e3, d4, everything on dark squares away from the bishop. It's like driving on the right side of the road away from traffic. Okay, driving on the left, the bishop can be driving on the right, so to speak. If I put everything on a dark square strategy here, if I can, dark square strategy, dark square grip.
Check.
That's mate there, isn't it? No, it's not.
Check.
Try and make some inroad on the dark squares. Uh-huh. Hang on, can I take with the king?
Check.
So maybe that's more aggressive. I'm holding against d4. I've got an aggressive king here. King d6. Well, let's hold that pawn for a moment. And then king d6. Try and mate with my king. king and queen somehow. Queen e6 and
Check.
king e7. Well, there's no rook e1 here just yet. Have I just dropped?
Check.
There's a queen h8 mate here. Oh, this is always a tough game. Thank you. There's always a tough game with him. So Shamang's trying to control d4. Play like King's Engine attack here. Castling f5, f4. I think, although there's bishop c5 could be a nuisance. Or d4. d4. Let's see if I play bishop g4, what would happen. If I play like this, just wondering, maybe this diagonal's good. Otherwise c5. Maybe if, okay. I don't want him to exchange off my bishop necessarily on g7. This looks like a poxy move, but I don't want the bishop coming off. Not yet. Not yet. So queen e8, something like, okay, can I do this? And then bishop b7. Just get the queen out of the way with queen e8. Maybe knight c6 to e5. Or in fact, f5 might be handy. But the first thing is he has to surely defend this pawn. How? He's not going into a self pin, surely. He is going into a self pin. The pin's been my friend tonight. I'm looking forward to this one. I think knight c6 f4 I can take. I can win a pawn at least. Maybe there was better, but okay. Is there knight g6? Have a quick look at this. There's queen takes. So f4 I think I'm taking, and bishop e5. It's been a night of pins so far in these games. Don't know if I'm noticing them more or something. I have to take with the queen. If I take the bishop, things rook takes. My bishop's hanging potentially. If I take with the queen, he can play rook takes. I can use this rook. So I can take with the queen. I'm just worrying, there's no rook d7, is there? There might be. Maybe I should find better. Leave that pawn there for a moment. Because this rook d7 on queen e5 looks annoying. I'm wondering about bishop c6 instead. Just to avoid this infiltration. If this pawn is truly vulnerable, it can wait for a moment, like a Levanironian strategy. You don't always have to immediately take a pawn back. So I'm going to stop this rook d7. That pawn's still kind of fragile, I hope. So I'm hoping I can just build up behind this pawn, but without any rook infiltration to worry about. Pawn's still a bit fragile, surely. It's got to try and prove it's slightly overextended. Knight f4 is dangerous, but maybe there's bishop e4 there. Or queen e4. Mind you, he's got rook f7 here, hasn't he? On rook f7, possibly I have rook e8. Putting pressure on these pieces. Now this g6 business, what if I played queen e4 here? So I'll be threatening, well, the queen, not g2 because he's protecting g2, but let's see, this situation with knight e6, he'll be threatening rook f7. Maybe rook e6 immediately, then he's got knight c7. Well, I could take the rook on e3 after. No, I can't. Okay, so knight e6 needs to be, I need to wonder about knight e6. Okay. I'll try and gain a tempo. And stop rook f7. Knight takes, I think this is an idea anyway. Now knight takes, rook c8, knight d5. Is it better just to play rook d8? Because where is that knight going? Now b pawn is attacked. Right. Can I do this and play for bishop d3 on knight b5? Fork. And attempt knight a6 for bishop d3 if he hasn't seen that first time round. Okay. Let's hold that pawn for a moment. I know it's a kind of self-hint. Maybe c4 is sufficient. Then I do lose a6. Alright, so it's interesting. Can I threaten stuff like h4 for rook takes c7? h4 bishop f. That's too late. There's a pin here, sort of. Well, there's knight g5 winning my rook. Let's stop knight g5 check. Getting a bit tricky. I think rook e7 is technically possible here, because knight g5 bishop takes holds the rook. Takes, and that knight's pinned without a check. I believe knight f8 bishop takes, knight g5 bishop takes, bishop takes, king takes, the knight's pinned. I'm hoping this is okay, this pin, otherwise I'm in trouble. So bishop f5 is on the way. He protects that. I'm not even a pawn up, am I? This is a big fight, this game. Pin here? Or not bother? Let's just gain a bit of space. Stop knight g3. Got to try and damage any career path of that knight, potentially. And squeeze over here, if I can. Okay, I think he's panicking a little bit. Or am I just being optimistic about this? Is rook f3 worth it? Maybe this. And rook f3, rook g3. There's rook f1 friend. So I guess he takes, because otherwise he's losing the knight. He can go behind it. Okay, he's losing the knight here. So that's a bit of good news.
Check.
Take this guy. Okay, let's go here to try and win with this pawn. Or am I? Create a pawn over here. Or am I? Alright, get this one as well, just in case.
Time warp.
Alright, thanks for the game. Alright, that was tough. Okay, Benny wins. Knight e5 is not doing anything in particular. It hasn't castled queenside, right? I'm wondering if f5, f4 is a plan. Do I need to worry about a5? f4 might be a threat here. Okay. I think they'll active pieces anyway. This looks like active pieces, an active rook on the b file potentially. Let's take this pawn out of target practice area. Okay, yeah. Try and get a grip on some dark squares. Maybe knight d4 coming up. There's c6 possible here. What is he doing on c6? What's the idea of that? I'm curious. Is it bishop takes f5 and knight d6? Right, that's the evil plan. Aha. Okay, if that's the case, try and sidestep that, like Predator in the film Predator. Sidestep this. Move aside from bishop f5 and knight d6. Bishop b7, bishop d7, bishop b7. What does that do? He's also on a5 here. Let's have a look at this again. c6, bishop takes. Pawn takes, bishop takes. This might be better than what I'm thinking anyway. I'll do it. Let him do it. Let him do it. It's actually a self pin. Maybe there's rook b7, rook d7. He gives up the light square bishop. And he's always got knight c4. It's not exactly a major self pin. He's always got knight c4, knight e4 to defend the queen. Okay, so go back to this line. Bishop takes, pawn takes, bishop takes, queen takes, pawn takes. c5 is dropping as well. Let's run this through again. Okay. I'm trying to think beyond this calculation. What do I need to do? Sidestepping it. c5 is vulnerable. I can't play d5. What about knight d4? Is g6 vulnerable? I can play d5 now that I've shielded c5 before battery on g6 maybe. I can play bishop h3 here potentially. If it takes its check, if it takes knight f3. Is it actually doing anything, bishop h3? What about rook f3? If it takes check, rook f3 seems plausible. What about bishop g6? King takes. There's no check after that. Bishop d4, bishop d4. Maybe rook f3. Takes something out of his king side. Is that really that handy? Some theoretical sense at the moment. I can't see exactly why that would be so handy, but it's a pawn. If I can get away with it, it's worth getting away with. What's happening over here? Let's have a look at the forcing moves over here. Rook b2, is that ever working? Fictionally or otherwise? Okay, What if I take on d3 and bishop f5, be winning another pawn? Yeah, I'll give him the exchange here, because I'm thinking I can... If he's putting a d pawn, it looks like sick to have a d pawn on d3. Queen d for bishop f5, I'm getting another pawn, surely, with a nice bishop. My king safety has just gone up a little bit. In fact, I'm wondering how he defends. Okay. I can grab another pawn, 2 pawns for the exchange. Can't be too bad with the bishops. That was bishop c5. Let's have a look at bishop c5. There's knight g3. I might be over optimistic with an exchange sack here. There's also b2 to get, but he's getting c5 potentially. What about d4? If I play d4, well, there's a double pawn he's undoubling. Okay, he's weakening his king with that. That can't be correct. To weaken the king there, surely. Now knight g3, knight d4. I can avoid losing the queens. Now knight f3 is threatened. Now I think that's too much for his king. He's damaged his king too much. Has immediately paid the price on f3. Thanks. Hein. A lot of challenges tonight. Thanks for the interest in crushing King's Crusher tonight on this very, very hot night. This is a reverse French defense. And this is something very, very interesting. I've been playing around with this E3 system just for a laugh recently. Results haven't been too bad. I wasn't supposed to do that. Oh well. Although in the reverse line, I think it's a good exchange sack to play g3, takes. Here, king f2. I think there's a good exchange sack. I'm going to play it. Yeah, I'm going to play it. It might trap the queen at the centre. I think would be fragile.
Check.
Now, I could be mistaken about this, but I have got a lot of pressure on the centre, tempo up.
Check.
If the centre's collapsing, if I get another pawn for the exchange, I'll be happy. I think I am getting a pawn for the exchange. Oh, there's knight g4, right. e4, knight g4, king g1. Is that terrible? Or d6, maybe d6. Is it worth playing e4? It might be. Or if I take and then e5, there's knight g4. And the thing is my centre collapsing or not? He's probably got knight d4 and queen h2 mating. I think I've got to be careful. I want to play for rook h1 to get some dynamic play. Otherwise I'm going to lose this chance to use the position dynamically. This is probably a one key moment to get it right. Bishop f4 for rook h1 looks like a good idea. Except I have to factor in knight g4. King e2. Okay, let's try this. Maybe king e2. Anytime he takes there, I can take with the queen. I just want to be able to play rook h1 and get some dynamic play on the h file. this knight d5, knight e4 is check, unfortunately. e5 might fare better. Knight e4, knight e4, knight g5. I'll be picking up e4. Maybe it's worth playing e5 here. Or knight g4, king e2. But this one, probably knight g5. Well, I'm banking on knight g5. It gives me ideas of rook h1, bishop e4 now. Also f7, looking at forcing moves now. Even outrageous ones, fictional ones. They could come true at any point, things like queen f7. But the key ones, rook h1 and bishop e4 here for that h-pawn target. It's ready-made tempo gainer. Can I trap that queen? Queen g4. Rook h4, queen f5, bishop e4, queen d7, e6, takes. Anything stronger? There's bishop h3, does that trap the queen there? Nearly. Queen h5, bishop takes, bishop b7. I think, do I need to calculate this a lot more? We'll just play it. I think at minimum I can play knight takes e4, so let's go for it. I could consider bishop h3, but there's queen h5, unless there's something winning there immediately. Bishop takes, queen takes. I don't want his queen hovering around with potential checks. Okay, that's another tempo gain. And maybe winning b7 is good. Take the queen at a2 hanging. The check, knight f7, king takes. I don't want to run out of time. Is there an easy plan, I wonder? It's queen a3 for rook h8. Queen f8, that's mating, okay. Can I do better? I'm dropping d4 there, bishop e3, queen e5, but it threatens bishop h7, so after bishop e3, queen e5, bishop h7, winning f8. So it takes rook h8, queen f8 is mating. This bishop e3, yeah, okay, let's go with this. Sneaky tactics. So rook h8, or bishop h7.
Check.
So Iranian Anand draw recently was bishop h7, bishop h7. It was funny, I thought, the Iranian drawing with Anand in the Norway tournament with bishop h7. Thanks for the game, Hen. Fearless one. Let's do this bishop b4 here. Provoke d5, some dark square weaknesses. Knight can go to g6. Bishop's not trapped yet. You can occupy this diagonal hopefully later. Pawns on light squares, adjacent dark square weaknesses. a3, bishop c5, bishop a7, then d6, then maybe knight g4 later. It's good that a5 kind of restricts b4. Tuck the bishop in. Now there's knight b5. What about d6? Against any d6 from white later. As though I'm not going to play h5, I'm definitely going to play h5 here. Okay, so any e4 with the pawns pinned. Any b4, yeah, this could be a snag. Maybe I should snap that off. I could try this actually. Well, not really. No, let's just snap that off. I think I've got enough to be going on with HG and knight G4. Let me just snap that off and knight G4. Then maybe queen G5, queen H5. If I take an F5, bishop moves back, HG. Is there any point to that? It sort of opens up the queen, I suppose. Let's have a look at this position. Bishop F3, E4, bishop G2. Okay, try and weaken E3. If he wants to take with this, he's weakening E3. If he doesn't, maybe F4. Just F4. If he wants to take that, he could take with the E pawn. That wouldn't be a big deal. What about knight H4? If he takes. Queen, that looks dangerous. Queen H2, King F1, F4, it takes bishop H3. Looks dangerous. I don't know if that's winning or not, but it's probably a bit of fun to be had without using F4 just yet. F4 is kind of positional, it's opening up the bishop anyway. So F4, maybe first. So if he wants to take this queen F2 mate, but now, well, right, thanks to the game, Hamlet, okay. Playing knight E5 straight off the bat. The task goer says knight on E5, the attack plays itself. So that's one of the ideas I have with playing one E3 actually, to get entrench a knight quickly on E5. There used to be a blitz specialist at this cafe in London called Checkers, he still plays a lot of blitz, and he does play a lot of the time with a knight on E5, his blitz games, and he wins a lot of games. It's very difficult to play against sometimes, I remember. I think I've got D6 coming up here. Did I just mess this up totally? I didn't see that move. That's horrible. I didn't see that. Did not see that coming. I think Lax Bella. It might not be. It might not be fatal, but okay. Let's pick up the pieces here. What am I doing in this position? Queen A4, Queen B6. Maybe just B3 and Bishop B2. Okay. First step, don't panic. Second step, based on not panicking, to analyze, 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 analyze. Let's see, so Queen B6, trying to neutralize Queen B6 with this B file. If I can also hold E5, so B file and E5, if I can just neutralize, maybe C4 is an issue. Just do this and then Bishop B2, and it might be okay. There might be Rook F5 or Rook F4, double the rooks. It might be okay. Right, there might be C4, Rook C1. So, okay, let's see. Rook C1. I haven't got that many loose pieces at the moment, but this is sort of loose. Alright, it's attacked. Bishop C4. If he wants to take E4 is weaker. Blocking this also makes this a bit safer. So I think that's okay. Bishop C4 at the moment. Is there like Rook F5 and doubling the rooks? e4 looks vulnerable. Let's see, what about king h1, queen g4, bishop e3, e6, threatens queen g7, f6, rook, bishop f6 there. So okay, I'll play for this, king h1, queen g4, bishop e3, e6, f6, bishop f6. Can I do that? Here goes. Say queen g6 instead. Queen g6. e6 takes. Well, on queen g6, what about rook e4? Rook d2, bishop c3, rook a2. No, you can't play rook d2. It's queen takes c8. There's no f5, right? There's no. Is that h5? Is h5 winning a piece there? So I want to play e6 first there. It might break up the pawns. It's tearing away a pawn. So queen 6, queen g5, f takes rook e4, slight improvement on things. If any, h5, there might be queen e6, sort of threatening, not threatening much, but it might be worth liberating this while I can liberate it. So look at rook d2, ef, and queen c8. Alright, let's do this. Liberate this bishop first. King's on the light square away from bishop e3 check, so that's pretty safe. So takes, rook takes e4. If rook d2, rook e6, and then c8's vulnerable. Wow, my back row is vulnerable. Right, queen g3 then. Yeah, if I took, my back row is vulnerable. I have to play h3 at some point. Is h3 any good? Okay, rook d2, bishop c3. Okay, can I get rook to the 7th here? I'll play h3 first. I just want to play rook d7. Right, he wants an exchange of queens. I'll give him that. I might have compensation for the pawn. Try and get the other rook involved. So rook d1, rook b7 to threaten mate. Take this one to threaten mate. Rook d8. It's got rook d3. What about rook b1 there? a5, c4, a6, c3. Try and get the perpetual. This c3 pawn is a pain. a5, c4, a6, c3, rook b7 with tempo. then a7, rook b8. That might be worth a punt. My king is a target though. Better might be rook behind pawn, Tarrasch rule, rook behind the pawn, round about here. Here. No, it doesn't work there. He just queens. I'll take the perpetual then.
Check. Check. Check.
I think I have to take
Check.
the perpetual.
Draw.
Well played. There's Mitrov. I didn't see that F5, that shook me. That F5 shook my variations to pieces. F5.
Check.
Mm. So sense game, I just want to castle queenside, queen g3. Further take. This title's pretty good. So castles, queen g3. I keep some tension in the game. Even if I lose a pawn here. Some compensation there, I think. If he wants to take and queen e4, bishop e2, I think I've got compensation. Be a bit greedy for him to do that, wouldn't it? Could win another pawn back and have a massive lead in development. King's still in the centre.
Check.
This is not what Nesmetov would do. Naughty. I don't think Nesmetov would do this with a king in the centre. If I castle queenside, it already looks crushing. I mean, in some respects. Knight f6, queen g7 looks crushing. Okay, am I overestimating? If I castle queen c2 mate is not amusing. Repeat, not amusing. Okay, so now that's settled. Queen g7, knight c2, king d2, knight takes, queen takes, queen g6. Okay, I'm winning a rook there. Knight e2, knight e2. What is he doing? What is he doing? What is he doing? Do that. Do that. Is it better to play king d1 or king f1? So if
Check.
he takes, my king can be checked with queen b1. There might be bishop e1 and knight c2 after. I could just play knight f3 in that case. Okay, so maybe I'm going to choose f1 here. Knight takes, hang on. Yeah, surely. Famous last words. Okay, surely this is safe. Knight takes, he's got queen b1. I got bishop e1, he's got knight c2, I got knight f3. I'm not getting a spud with mate, am I?
Check.
I'm banking on knight f3 here. I'm banking on knight f3 not being some weird smothered mate by him. Yeah, welcome to this Fisher Random game. Okay, what about g3, king g2, so I can play bishop b4 check, winning his queen all night. If I got a few more moves, which I'm not getting. Hang on, I can pin that knight. Pin and win. Hold on, let's pin that knight. Because I really want king g2 and bishop b4 check to win the queen.
Check.
Oh, the pin backfired there somewhat. Okay. The pin backfired. Oh boy. Oh, that was not meant to happen. Oh boy. That was not fair. Not meant to happen. Right, best way to play this to avoid immediate obliteration is this h pawn any good? Please give me a chance. I need this h pawn, otherwise I'm dead. I can get another piece. Bishop e3, bishop d4. Bishop e3 is knight g4. Can I sneak in bishop c3 with rook c1? I have to play some tricks here on him, I'm afraid.
Check.
Okay, so just a piece down, right? Piece down for... Oh, should have just... What could have been? He could have just taken the bishop. Okay, this guy deserves the bunny ears award. I award him bunny ears. For me, being a bunny, losing the queen on h7 was naughty. I deserve to lose. Yes, and he's like more than 1,000 points below. So I'm hoping he's better than his rating. I award this Metanov. He's made me look like a total bunny. Yeah, okay. That's an illegal move as well. Okay. Did I just play king e1? I'm still giving him a chance. Let's take these ears off and focus back on the game. Okay, I'm giving him a chance, clearly. But he's running out of time now. I don't know. I'll try and give these guys a chance. And... Okay. Pin and win. Pin and lose the pinner. Ah, yeah. Now, please don't tell me he's mating with these three pieces. This looks ominous, actually. Oh, crikey. Again, this looks ominous.
Check.
Oh, I didn't even mean to do that check. As long as I don't play rook a6 check, that might help. If I don't play rook a6 check or another stupid, disastrous move. So rook e2 is coming up. Can I avoid getting mated? Is it possible? He's weaving and mating that, isn't he?
Check.
I'll have to defend. I'm losing another piece.
Check.
I'm losing another piece. Yes, I've managed to. I don't know if I did a recap shot or what. did I not do an ordinary recap? I thought I was going to be okay on material earlier. What the heck? Okay, am I getting mated in one? Otherwise I'll play a check. I'm not getting mated in one move, am I? Okay. Okay, yes. Moving swiftly on. Moving swiftly on. Took with the rook. Yes. I don't know what happened. Okay, I need to have a few games of Tetris or something to get rid of the images. They say Tetris is good. Okay. But no. Okay, moving swiftly on. What the heck? I thought I was being really clever with that Queen H7, pinning the knight. I kept saying pin and win. I convinced you guys and myself that pinning is the way forward, but you've got to be very careful. So lesson to you all. Pin and lose sometimes. Pin and lose. You know, knight e3 was winning for him. That was a pin and lose example. Ah. Pin and lose. By the way, if you did want to get watermelon over the weekend, if you're suffering like me, you can try the Greek Cypriot way, which is to have it with halloumi, which you can get low-fat halloumi, and this special bread as well. It's actually, with the halloumi alone, it's a fantastic combination. I have to say, it's a taste sensation that you're missing out on if you haven't tried it. Yeah. So we're talking red watermelon standard with halloumi cheese. Yeah, it's pretty good, I gotta say. But I consider today like one of the hottest days of the year so far. I find it mostly unbearable. The dog also was just sitting in the hallway at some part of the day. I actually gave the dog a significant amount of this low calorie ice lorry at the end. Try and cool her down. It's a bit too hot today, I gotta say. For my comfort zone, let's see. So f6. So takes. If h5 fish, set up the fishing pole, which should usually be a bit of fun. Otherwise, I'm going to castle queenside with bishop d7 and castle queenside here, just to shield the king side and castle queenside. Other naughty ideas. Takes g3. Oh, he's protecting e3 here, so that might not be entirely clever. Okay, let's see. He's not accepting the fishing pole. I'm castling, yes, queenside. Anything naughty to do here for me? What can I do which is naughty? b5. Shift this knight away. e4. The thing is, I can't even play queen e5 because he had his bishop on there. Okay, I'm waiting for queen e5 at the right moment when he isn't suspecting it. So I'm going to leave my queen available for queen e5 later. So maybe something like b5, e4, queen e5 to hit h2. Aha. the H file, the RAF of the H file. What about F5 and Queen H6? Has he factored that one in? F5 and Queen H6. So Queen H6 threatened. Queen H6 threatens. Aha. Okay, let's put that on hold for a moment. Because he stopped it. Okay. What about G3? G3. Knight F3. F4. And then I renew Queen H6 as the threat. So G3, Knight F3, F4, with the idea of Queen H6. I believe this is even stronger than I thought, because actually I can take care winning a rook if he's not careful. What does he do about that? Even better than winning a rook might be mating with rook h1. Knight g1, rook g1 mate. I think I can afford to take this knight first. If I take knight f2, I can't see anything immediately terminal about it. I'll take a knight. Yeah. He can play knight e3, and there's queen h6. He interrupts h6 if he plays knight e3, and if he takes, then I play bishop takes e3. Okay, this looks terminal. Queen h1 threatens. So if he takes, there's bishop e3. Okay, thanks to the game. Hamlet we played before. Hang on a sec. I'm pretty sure we've played Hamlet before. Yeah. So let's have a game on the 3-minute auto parrying to keep some variety. The 3-minute auto parrying. Here we go. Well, I think he didn't mean to play King f8. Nevertheless, the speed of this guy, it's the worry. The speed. He's sorted out his king. So if there was any problem with King f8, it's not really a big deal here. Knight e4, knight. I'm hoping I'm holding a knight. The rook seems to be in the wrong place. It looks a bit too quirky, this position. Let's put the rook here. Try and organise my pieces around d6. Like double. Is this structure falling apart? Or rather, how quickly is it falling apart? Knight a4. Is that mostly harmless? If I play knight e2, I'm on d6. Before he has bishop h6, there's rook d6. He has b5 to cause trouble. Is that e5 here? Takes. There's no tactic there, is there? Unfortunately, I can't see one immediately. And the knight's hanging. There's a slight weakness in the last move. Which does mean e5 is better than before. Cool. Oh, we got another challenge. Max Happy. Now Max Happy's pretty quick, isn't he? So he's pretty sure of this, is he? Because I'm not. I think it's alright for black this position. At the moment. D6 and knight G4. If I play Queen F6 here, how does he defend? I'm not sure how he defends F2. Is it some sack? Is it some King G2 move or something? Maybe King G2. Fair enough. F3 knight E3 might be handy. F4 I'm not going to do that because it opens up this diagonal. I'm surprised they did that. Is the idea really F3? That's intriguing. I'm wondering, knight takes or rook takes. Rook takes, check, bishop takes, for queen takes. If he took here, queen takes. Yeah, it's like an exchange sack. Takes, takes, takes. It's like an exchange sack. I hope.
Check.
I mean, a good exchange sack, I hope. Queen takes, king h4, queen h3 is mate. Mating? Must be mating. Queen e3, king takes. I just played castling for rook h8, surely.
Check.
Check. Isn't g5 mate?
Check.
Alright, thanks. Just in chess. Yeah, it's a bit okay. Sorry, little kids watching. This is like showing you what pain is. I'm thinking on the chessboard. It's brutal. Chess isn't the game you think it is. Chess is a game of inflicting maximum pain onto the opponent. It's pretty X-rated, but people just don't know it. Yeah. Okay. So you thought the video games were violent. People should review the classic chess game. It's pretty violent stuff. Classic chess. Pretty violent stuff. I'm not sure what his plan is just yet. I wonder if I can't play knight h4, I assume. Or can I? Knight e4, knight f5. Hitting the queen, maybe I can. Maybe it's just a good pawn sack if he plays check. I have a knight on f5. Is that overly optimistic? It might be. Now, in fact, I play pawn takes on the bishop. So knight f5, knight e4, knight f5, knight d2 check. I still get my knight on f5. Should I be worried? He opens up the diagonal as well. Should I be worried about this pawn loss here? g4 looks very tempting. Just a smash through of h4 and g5. Bishop h6 looks tempting, just for queen c1 if knight d3, rook d3. Queen c1, how does he defend h6? There's no easy way of defending h6 there. I'm just going to play bishop h6, queen c1, come on. Why didn't I think about that move before? Hang on a sec. Has he got knight g4? There's rook g1. That position. Has he got f6? Dealt it. I think I'm threatening bishop h6, queen c1. So knight g4, rook g1. King h7, queen h6, queen g7 mating. Can't be serious. Cannot be serious. Just bishop takes. Check, check. Surely that's just winning. This f6 might be a pain, I suppose. Bishop f6. Win the queen. I just lost the rook so far, right? Right, let's imagine rook g2, king h8, queen g2, rook g8. Do I actually get anything there? I don't think I have. So let's imagine bishop g7 or just queen takes instead. If I take that, queen takes g6 is a pain. I probably do want to play bishop g7. It looks somehow the thing to do to make sure g6 is not shielding him. Take away his shields. Think. f6, bishop f6, king f7, rook g7, king takes. No, I can just take his knight first. If he takes here, I get. Okay, if he takes here, takes here, takes. He hasn't got time. Am I going to win his queen and a piece back? That's the thing. Am I winning his queen and a piece back? What annoys me, it was so clear cut. The time I played g4 in this game, it was much more clear cut. I think bishop h6.
Check.
Well, maybe he had. Okay, maybe he had something. Maybe it's not time to cry about it. Taking, I don't know, is queen a4? Check, check. That can't be right. Queen a4 can't be saving him. Knight d3 can't be saving him. This surely is losing the queen. Bishop f6. Unless they're stronger. Yeah, queen g6 is mating. So queen g2 is not taking there. Rook f7, bishop f6, king f8, queen g8 is mate. King h7, queen g6 is mating. Queen g2, there's no checks. Knight d3, bishop f6, king f7, queen g6 is mating. queen and bishop cutting, complementing each other on these two diagonals. Queen g6 looks winning. No escape on e8. Let's run through the defences. Rook f7 I think fells, bishop takes, king f8, queen g8 is mate, king f7, queen g6 is mate, knight d3, bishop f6, king f7, queen g6 is mating, king h7, queen g6, this all looks mating. Okay, what is he doing here? Alright, bishop f6, king f7, queen g7, king e8, queen e7 mate. Forget about the queen for a moment. I want the king. Bishop f6, king h7, queen g7, king f7, queen g7, king e8, queen e7, looks like mate. He can interpose his queen.
Check.
Weakness of the last move is neglected. e7 here as well. I'm sorry, this is getting a bit more X-rated than ever. Okay. I don't mean all the games to be violent, but it's just the way it is tonight. Okay, so yeah, that's the way it is. Chess is a cruel game. Okay, you got to be good tactically. It's a cruel game. Okay, Dark Throne. This is a 3-minute game. F4 looks dangerous. Maybe knight d5, queen f7. Right, if I play for f4, what about bishop e6? Has he got a tactic here? Oh, there's knight g5 coming up. I've got to be careful about knight g5. If I played f4 here, does it do anything? b5, knight d8. Well, I think I'll take here first. Now there is a Fischer game on record with kind of reverse Grand Prix attack, which is sort of like this idea with the pawn sack. I'm hoping I have something here for this pawn sack. What about knight d4? Would that do anything? It takes away maybe a defender in some variations. More importantly, it might take away knight g5 in some variations. So I'm doing it. If I can play c6, maybe rook a2, come down to f2 with rook a2. Rook a2 looks interesting. How can I arrange that? Maybe c6, there's knight e7. What about rook e8 instead? Forget about rook a2. Let's guard against knight e7. I just want to play c6. Try and expose the queen. Different plan. Keep this open. Knight takes e5 maybe. For bishop g4. Bishop g4 gives me knight f3. What's more accurate after f3? Is it knight f3? Bishop f3, there's rook e3. No, there isn't. There's a knight on e3. There's bishop takes e3 and then knight takes. Sorry. Okay. What? Okay, knight f3 here. Takes, bishop h3, knight f4, rook f4. Yeah, it looks as though.
Check.
Should just get onto the light squares here. Bishop h3 threatens. Bishop d4, bishop h3, knight f4, rook f4. Let's see, queen d1. Two rooks for the queen might be good. This is c6, bishop d4, rook e2 is winning, isn't it? Maybe he plays knight f4, bishop e3, maybe. I think rook e2 there. What is he doing? Sacking the queen? Oh, he's protecting f2. Let's take here to threaten rook e2. He's already protecting f2. That was maybe not so clever. He's got things under control, unfortunately. 28 seconds. Bishop g4, queen g4, queen h3 plan. There's always f3 though. What about bishop d7 then? Alright, rook e3 does queen f2.
Time warning.
Oh. Bishop e6, queen d1, bishop f3 threatened.
Check. 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 Check.
Bishop f3 threatened.
Check. Check. Check.
Oh. Okay. Valuation equal in the final position. Good. That's tough. That's tough. Okay. Ageless. Tryfon, queen e3, bishop e1. Pretty standard. I hope. That was rook e6 here. G6, rook e6, bishop h4, rook g6. There's rook e6 there, isn't there? No, there isn't. Oh, blimey. Don't tell me there isn't. Okay. That's a shame. Okay, is there bishop takes first? Then? So he's forked my queen and rook. Okay. It's not the end of the world. The way he's played it, I seem to be potentially winning some material. Am I not? Five pieces against. I think. Okay. Do I just win that G6 pawn for a moment? Oh, I'm the exchange down. I'm the exchange down. I didn't realise there'd be exchange down. Wow. Oh, that hasn't worked. Oh man. Oh well, I'm the exchange down. I've just dropped D4 as well. I'm cracking here.
Check.
Alright, how do I crack to a minimum here? I'm just realising the exchange down. Can I do this? Not even for a pawn. Okay, what about rook G3 to get out of the pin? Oh boy. Yeah. There's knight F6 if he plays rook F5, right?
Check.
Oh no, that's killing. Ah, I've been robbed. I can't believe he would have set that as a trap. I was robbed. Did he really set rook E6 as a trap? I think I might have seen that in some sort of Grandmaster game once. Rook E6 as a sort of trap. I have to check that. If we get time here. It's a trap. It's better for black. According to this one, minus 1.45. I've just gone into a trap. I should have played bishop takes. Knight E5. That's only slightly better for white. We're talking less than half a pawn. But what I played was actually, it seems technically losing what I played. That's a turn up for the books. But I think I might have seen it in a master game at some point as well, funny enough. So Silian Sveshnikov. Maybe rook f7 at some point. think I played this guy earlier on the 5-minute auto pairing on a scheduled video in a few days. I'm not going to say the game result. B5 is vulnerable. Can I do this? I just want to swing over here without any major issue. Something like Queen G6. Okay. Right, let me take over there. Do I got Bishop C8? Or not? Alright, go with this then. If I play Queen H6, Bishop G3, that's dangerous. H3, is it sort of dangerous? I'll wait for this for D5, I think. D5 there. He's got pawn takes. That's Queen D6. Let's make sure he's playing at H3 here, yeah? And he's playing this, right? Queen D6, Queen C5 is threatened. Let's try and pick up that pawn. Queen B4. Try and pick up that pawn. Take the pawn now.
Check.
I don't want to give him my gigantic passed pawn for nothing, necessarily. I don't want to be smothered mated either. Bishop H3 at some point. Or Bishop A6 to F1 is more likely. He's just extinguished that. He's got Rook C8 now. So I end up giving him a massive pawn, do I? Bishop B7 against Knight G7 and Rook C8. Does he just play? Oh, don't tell me he just plays Knight G7, Queen B8. Alright, let's see. Can I get my own massive pawn? Not really. Let's get tempo there. And Bishop G2 on Queen E4. Queen F2 is mating. Bishop G2 key tempo. Try Queen E4. Red Aiken. War Forever might not have been entirely happy. Losing to me twice in one day apparently is not the most happy bunny ever. Apparently I'm incredibly bad. I know. I'm cruel. I try to be. Oh well. Okay, so anyway. Oh dear. This is why I like to turn off in-game chat, because I've had games in the past, and it happens on any site, you know. But you know, sometimes you don't want in-game chat. Know what I mean? Post-game chat is bad enough. Can I play Bishop B7? No, I'm blocking in my bishop. Can I play this? Anyway. Okay. Let's see. Bishop E6, Rook D8. Let's see. Rook D8, Bishop D4. Rook C8, B5, B4 maybe as a good plan to try kind of extend the scope of the bishop. C5 is a bit vulnerable if I did that now. Nevertheless, no, I think it's too much of a risk. What about F5 instead? Let's leave this structure intact. B5 is too weakening, surely. F5 looks to be exposing his king anyway. Yeah. This G4 can't work out favourably a lot of the time. I think I need some watermelon soon, guys. My temperature's going up. Let's try and weaken these dark squares and give me Queen G5. Queen G5. I can look at G4. I'm dropping that pawn. Yeah, you can take in the knight D4. There's no Queen E3. Let's protect that pawn. Oh. Not easy, is it? Not easy. Never easy, is it? Oh, it's the opponent always interfering with the plans. Bishop G6? What about Bishop E6? Target that G4 again. Oh, I have to play for Queen G6 now. Against
Check.
Queen E4. That's Queen B7. Yeah. Rook D7? Okay. Try and break the structure with D3. Or pass pawn over here. On the way. Nice D5 square anyway. And take on C2. Okay. Let's have another on the 3-minute auto pairing. Maybe that's the last 3-minute auto pairing. Or we could play some bullet. Okay. Oh no, it's not the reverse crab. I posted a Reddit answer recently about the crab. I have used it with success myself. Don't underestimate the pincers. The pincers of the crab are not to be underestimated. Knight f6 looks
Check.
as though I'm having a good time in this position. Never underestimate the crab. Okay. I was wondering, I haven't really achieved that much. I mean, I've achieved something visually, but I don't believe I've achieved as much as one might hope for against the reverse crab. You'd think a tempo up against the crab might be something to write home about, but I can try and build up a small positional advantage, or not, as the case may be.
Check. Check.
There's d5 on the cards. Here? Maybe I haven't achieved anything. Oh dear. This doesn't look right. I think he's fine, unfortunately. In 3 minutes, I don't think it matters that much about the opening. It can be a surprise weapon. And his bishop's probably better than my knight. These pawns on light squares don't bode very well. What if I put these pawns on dark squares here? Try to. It's g4. Has he got g4? We've got knight d3. I think I'm in Zugzwang now. I think he's just put me in Zugzwang. Or is it? Nearly. Probably. Let's have a look. Otherwise, 95 might be. Okay, yeah, it's going to be knight f7. I still feel I'm being put in Zugzwang. Is this G pawn worth anything here? No, probably not. That pawn's, unless I've got some miracle, I think he's queening pretty quickly. Yeah. Yep. That's unfortunate. this guy's pretty dangerous. I don't think he needs an opening, standard opening. Whew. Now I should resign here, right? Let's see.
Check.
Where's the resign button? It's over here. Unless there's a stalemate, I don't think so.
Time warning.
Whew, this guy did the reverse crab on me. He's been up to 2 for 1-9 on a 5-minute auto-pairing. Alright, let's try a last bullet game for a laugh.
Check.
Here we go. Huh? Oh, 21 seconds. I'm a bit
Time
slow
warning.
here. I gotta say,
Check.
I'll just let him enter the position there. Unless I'm getting the H file. Maybe bishop d5. No. That's too dangerous. Oh. No. He's too quick, this guy. I've just realised I'm going to lose on time, if nothing else. As well as losing every pawn going. Ah, just one more. And that's it. Ah, it doesn't get easier. Against the Grob, you think I might have a chance on the light squares. Or dark squares. What about rook h4 there? Or knight h4? Knight f3. Oh no. Oh dear. There's knight d6, isn't there?
Check.
And I've just dropped the knight. I think it's probably time to stop. I don't think I'm. This is this is necessarily going well. Okay, so rook d8, and it's the end of the thing anyway. So I think time to stop after this. Rook d8 and bishop c4 though. Okay, give me bishop c4. Am I imagining that?
Time warning. Check. Check. Check.
Okay, I'll stop there on a high note. Where it's just a test of internet connection anyway. Bullet chess. A lot of it anyway. So let's see with the co-producer. Okay, should we end here? Okay, I hope you enjoyed this week. 1 fun, 10 boring. If you want to vote, that'd be cool. All likes appreciated on the videos. I think there was some fun games in this evening's selection. I thought I was crushing it earlier on anyway, myself, and started losing. But it was good while it lasted. For me anyway. Okay, alright. So have a good weekend and see you next week. And likes appreciated. Thanks very much. Oh, there's some votes coming in. Yeah, your last vote's coming in. That'd be cool.